Junie B, first grader, Boo, and I Mean It, by Barbara Park. Chapter 1. Secrets. Friday. Dear first grade journal, my daddy went away on a business trip this week. He is doing job interviews. Job interviews is when you put on a suit and you wear a tie and you beg people for a job. I wish Daddy did not have to do job interviews right now. Because Halloween is coming tomorrow, and I'm afraid of that scary holiday. From Scaredy Junie B, first grader. P.S. I am not telling anyone that I'm scared of Halloween, or else they will tease me, probably. Children are like that. I put down my pencil and thought about Halloween some more. Then I did a little shiver. On account of last year, a boy named Polly Allen Puffer told me 5 scary secrets about that day, and he said I am not allowed to tell anyone, or else a witch will turn my head into a wart. I made a sick face, and I tried not to think about that situation. Only, how can you not think about a situation if you're trying not to think about a situation? I tapped my fingers, very frustrated. Then, all of a sudden, I saw my journal on my desk. A good idea came into my head. 'Cause sometimes, if you write your problems in a journal, it makes you feel better about things. I heard that on the Home Shopping Network, they were selling journals, I believe. I opened the pages and I started to write 5 scary secrets that Polly Allen Puffer told me by Junie B. Jones. Real monsters and witches go trick-or-treating on Halloween, only they don't even wear costumes. On account of everybody thinks they're already dressed up, but they're not. They're wearing their real actual face and clothes. Number 2. Do not carve pointy, sharp teeth in your pumpkin, or else it will roll into your room while you are sleeping and eat your feet. Number 3. Bats like to land on your head and live in your hair. Number 4. Black witch cats can claw you into shreddle. Number 5. Candy corn isn't really corn. I put down my pencil again, and I read over the secrets. The candy corn one is shocking, I tell you. Writing my problems did not make me feel better. I put my head on my desk, and I covered up with my arms. Just then, I heard my teacher's voice. His name is Mr. Scary. That is a good Halloween name, I think, only he actually uses it for the whole entire year. He said to please take out our arithmetic books. I kept on staying covered up. 'Cause how can I do arithmetic when there's scary secrets in my brain? All around me, room 1 got out their books. I took my sweatshirt from the back of my chair and I tucked it next to my ears. The sweatshirts help block out classroom noise. Pretty soon, I heard my teacher again. Junie B, are you all right back there? He asked. Only, before I could even answer, a tattletale girl named May started blabbing her head off. No, Mr. Scary, Junie Jones is not all right, she said. Junie Jones is not paying attention, again, as usual. She thought for a second. And Junie Jones has been doing other bad stuff today, too, she said. Like, even yesterday, she ate half a sandwich from her lunchbox during silent reading. Only I couldn't tattle on her, because if you said I keep on tattling, I'll get sent a note home. And so thank goodness that you are finally on the ball today. After that, room 1 got very silent, and Mr. Scary didn't say any words. I felt shaky inside. He was thinking of punishment for me, probably. Finally, I raised my head, and I peeked one eye at him. He was sitting at his desk writing a note. I did a groan. It was to my mother, I think. I started to hide my eye again. Only just then, Mr. Scary stood up, very calm, and he came back to the room and gave the note to May. I could not believe my eyeball. "Please take this home to your parents," he told her. May's whole mouth came open at that shocking news. "No, Mr. Scary, no, no, no. Please don't make me take a note. Please, please, please. I wasn't tattling. I promise I wasn't. I was just saying that I'm glad you're on the ball today. That's all I was saying. I was saying that I'm glad for you." Mr. Scary smiled. "Thank you, May. You're very kind," he said. Then he bent down next to her, and he stuck the note in her backpack. I reached over and tapped on him. "That note was long overdue," I said. Mr. Scary sucked in his cheeks at me. "Please sit up, Junie B," he said. His voice did not sound happy. "Now," he said. I quick sat up. "Okie doke. I'm sitting. See me sitting, Mr. Scary?" I said. "Plus, also, I'm going to get out my arithmetic book, I think. I found it in my backpack. Yes, sirree, here it is. I've got my book. And so I am all set to do arithmetic now," I said. Mr. Scary kept on standing there. I looked up at him. "Alrighty, you can be heading on back to your desk," I said. He still did not move. I waved my fingers. "Keep in touch," I said. Mr. Scary bent down next to me, and he talked real serious in my ear. "You need to pay attention in class, Junie B," he said. "I shouldn't have to tell you that." I did a sigh. Then I leaned over, and I whispered to him, real private. "Yeah, only I've got something in my head that's bothering me today," I explained. "On account of Scary Halloween is coming tomorrow, and I don't actually like it that much." Just then, May's ears perked up. That girl has X-ray hearing, I tell you. "Hey, everybody! Junie Jones is scared of Halloween," she shouted. "I just heard her say it. Junie Jones is a scaredy cat baby about Halloween." All of room 1 turned around and looked at me. "Really?" said my bestest friend named Herbert. "You're scared of Halloween, Junie B. I didn't know that." "I didn't know that either," said my other friend named Shirley. "How come you're scared of Halloween?" Just then a boy named Sheldon jumped up at his desk, and he talked real loud. "Well, I'm not scared of Halloween, that's for sure," he said. He stood there a second. Then he did a little frown. "Except for last year, Danielle Belmonte dressed up like Mr. Potato Head, and he jumped out at me from a bush, and so I had to drop my bag and run." Everyone laughed and laughed. Sheldon frowned bigger. "It wasn't funny," he said. "I had to start my candy from scratch." May rolled her eyes. "Who cares, Sheldon?" she said. "The thing is that Junie Jones is scared of Halloween this year, and that makes her a scaredy cat baby." She leaned across the aisle at me. "B-A-B-Y spells baby," she said. I crossed my arms at that girl. "Oh, yeah? Well, T-A-T-L-T-A-I-L spells tattletale," I said back. Mr. Scary looked down at me. He shook his head no. I thought for a second. Then I tried again. T-A-T-A-L-T-A-L-E spells tattletale, I said. Mr. Scary did a wince. I tapped my fingers on my desk, and I took one more crack at it. T-A-T-A-L-T-A-I-L spells tattletale? Mr. Scary closed his eyes. I put my head down back on my desk. He covered me up with my sweatshirt. I appreciated that. Chapter 2. Candy Corn. That afternoon, I zoomed to my house from the bus stop, and I ran in front of my door as fast as lightning. Tattletale. T-A-T-T spells tattletale, I hollered. After that, I used the word in a sentence. Tattletale. May is a big, fat tattletale. I heard my grandma's voice. Junie B, honey, is that you? She called. I'm in Ollie's room. Come back and see us. I circled my hands around my mouth. Okay, I hollered again. Okay spells okay. After that, I hurried back there, very fast, and I hugged my grandma real tight. Did you hear me spell tattletale? I said. I looked up that word in my dictionary at school. On account of May, tattletale's on me today. Grandma Miller was changing Ollie's clothes. She shook her head at that news. Oh dear, no more trouble with May, she said. Honestly, Junie B, you're just going to have to ignore that girl. I crossed my arms. Yeah, only how can I even ignore her when she calls me a scared cat baby? I said. She told all the children that I'm scared of Halloween, Grandma. Only if May knew what I know about Halloween, she would be scared too. Grandma looked curious at me. What are you talking about? She asked. What is it that you know? I swallowed very hard. Then I made my voice quieter. I know 5 scary secrets. That's what I know, I said. Only I'm not even allowed to tell anyone, or else my head will turn into a wart. Chills came on my arms. Polly Allen Puffer told me that, I whispered even softer. Grandma Miller wrinkled her eyebrows. Polly Allen Puffer, she said. Wasn't he the boy who told you that a monster lived under your bed? I nodded my head. Yes, that's the exact same Polly Allen Puffer, I said. He knows a lot of scary stuff, Grandma. On account of Polly Allen Puffer has a brother who's in 8th grade. And 8th grade is almost as old as a grown-up. Grandma did a little smile. Then she finished buttoning Ollie's sweater, and she put him on the floor to walk to me. Ollie does not walk that professional. He teeters and totters and weevils and wobbles. He fell down on my foot. Then he patted my shoe very nice and said the word moo. Moo is Ollie's favorite word. He's not the sharpest tool in the barn. Grandma bent down to pick him up. I touched her soft, white hair. Bats would love that hair, I believe. I wouldn't go out on Halloween if I were you, Grandma, I said. Not with that head of hair. Grandma Miller did a little frown. Then she fluffed her hair very much. Why, what's wrong with my hair? She asked. Don't you like it? I zipped my lips shut, 'cause I said too much already, I think. Grandma Miller fluffed some more. Speaking of Halloween, your mother is coming home from work early today. She wants to take you to the store to buy your costume. Just then, more chills came on my arms. I started backing out of Ollie's room very slow. Yeah, only I might not want to buy my costume today, I said. I might want to buy it tomorrow, or the next day, or never, possibly. I kept on backing up. Okay, well, I think I will go take a nap now, Grandma. And so when Mother gets home, please tell her not to bother me. I did a salute. Thank you, and good night, I said. After that, I turned around, and I ran to my room, and I quick closed the door. A second later, I opened it a tiny crack. Yeah, only don't forget what I told you, I called. Do not go out with that head of hair on Halloween, 'cause that is asking for trouble, Helen. Grandma Miller called back at me. She said please do not call her Helen. I shut my door again. Then I picked up my favorite stuffed animal named Philip Johnny Bob, and I hurried to get in bed. If we pretend to sleep, maybe I won't have to go to the scary Halloween store with Mother, I told him. Philip pretended to snore. I tapped on him. Yeah, only she's not actually home yet, Phil, I explained. Plus, I need to tell you the 5 scary secrets, because I can't tell them to real, actual people. But you don't count, probably, because your ears aren't really real. Philip Johnny Bob felt his ears with his front foot. Really? You're kidding me, he said. My ears aren't real? Are you sure? Because they really, really feel real, don't you think? I felt his ears. Yes, Philip, they do feel real, but they're just made out of cloth. Philip Johnny Bob kept feeling his ears, so I finally had to take his foot away. After that, I made my voice into a whisper, and I told him the 5 scary secrets. First, I whispered the secret about the monsters and the witches. Then, I whispered the secrets about the pumpkins and the bats and the cats. And finally, I whispered the secret about how candy corn is not actually corn. His mouth came open at that one. No, he said, that can't be true. Candy corn has got to be corn. It has corn right in its exact name. Plus, it even looks like corn, kind of. So if it isn't corn, what kind of vegetable is it? I did a shrug. I don't know, Phil, I said. They can't be peas, because peas are roundish and greenish. Right, said Philip. And it can't be carrots, because carrots are longish and crunchish. We thought some more. Then both of us looked at each other. Maybe Polly Ann Puffer's big brother was wrong about the corn, I said. Yes, he's got to be wrong, said Philip. Candy corn is definitely corn. There's nothing else it could be. I nodded. But the other scary secrets are true, I bet. You can just tell they're true by the sound of them. Like, why would a real actual monster put on a costume if he already looks like he's wearing one? I know, said Philip. And the pointy, sharp pumpkin teeth make sense too. Because what good are pointy, sharp teeth if you can't eat feet? Right, I said. And you know that the bat and the cat secrets are true too. Because what bat wouldn't want to live in Grandma's softy hair? And witches' cats can definitely claw you into shreddle, said Philip. He looked up at me. Maybe you shouldn't go trick-or-treating this year, Junie B, he said. Maybe you should just stay here with me, all safe and sound, right in your own house. I hugged him very tight. That elephant is very supportive. Chapter 3. Squirty. Me and Philip, Johnny Bob, took a real nap. It was an accident, because both of us are too old for naps. But sometimes naps just happen. After we woke up, Mother came into my room, and she kissed my cheek hello. I did a yawn and waved. My mother ruffled my hair. I know you're still sleepy, honey, but we need to go get your Halloween costume now, she said. Grandma's going to stay in with Ollie while we're gone. My tummy did a little flip-flop at that news. I had to get out of this. I just had to. Yeah, only I don't actually feel like getting my Halloween costume right now, I said, real whiny. Anyway, I don't even know what I want to be yet. After that, I quick pulled my covers over my head. I will think about this and get back to you tomorrow, I said. Mother did a laugh. She pulled my covers off again. Sorry, Junie B, but we can't wait until tomorrow, she said. Tomorrow is Halloween. After that, she picked me up from my bed, and she stood me on the floor. I'm sure that once we get to the store, you'll find lots of fun costumes to choose from, she said. Now please put on your shoes while I go get my coat. After that, I grabbed Philip Johnny Bob, very panicked. She is going to make me do it, Philip. Mother's going to make me go trick-or-treating tomorrow night, and that means I'm going to see real, actual monsters and witches. Plus, I'll probably be coming home with a bat in my hair. I ran around my room, very upset. Philip watched me go. Why don't you just tell her, Junie B, he asked. If you tell Mother the 5 scary secrets, then she won't make you go trick-or-treating, I bet. I shook my head. But I can't, Philip, I said. I can't tell anyone the 5 secrets, or else my head will get turned into a wart. Remember that? I made a sick face. A wart would be a hard head to explain. Philip thought some more. Okay, then make up a different reason why you can't go, he said. tell Mother you're afraid of the dark." I rolled my eyes way up at the ceiling. "But I'm not afraid of the dark, Philip. I'm not afraid of anything, usually." I paused for a second. "Except for roosters with pointy lips, of course," I said. "But that is to be expected." I tapped on my chin. "Also, I do not care for ponies who stomp you to death," I said. "And clowns," said Philip. "You're also afraid of clowns." I looked at him kind of annoyed. "Yes, Phil, but everyone is afraid of clowns," I said. "Even Grandma Miller is afraid of clowns." I thought back. Remember when all of us went to the circus together, and that scary, mean clown chased Grandma around the bleachers with his seltzer bottle? Philip nodded. "Yes, Squirty the clown," he said. "He made Grandma wear an unattractive balloon hat. Remember that?" "Of course I remember," I said. "I still have bad dreams about that clown. Even monsters and witches would run away from Squirty, I bet." "Sure they would," said Philip. "Squirty would scare the pants off those guys." I did a sigh. "Lucky Squirty," I said. "Squirty the clown doesn't have to be afraid of anything, probably." Just then, Mother's voice hollered down the hall. "Junie B, are you ready yet? You need to get a move on, honey. We've got to go." Me and Philip looked frantic at each other. Then, bingo, a miracle happened. And it's called "The answer to the problem popped right into my head." I springed up as fast as a spring. "Hey, wait a second. I know the answer, Philip. I know what I can be for Halloween." I danced around, real joyful. "I can be Squirty," I said. "I can be Squirty the clown. Then I can squirt the monsters and witches with my seltzer bottle, and then they'll all run away." I grabbed Philly, Johnny, Bob, and we twirled around. "Squirty, Squirty, Squirty," we sang real happy. Mother heard us being noisy, and she hurried into my room. "Hey, hey, hey, what's going on here?" I ran and hugged her legs. "I'm going to be Squirty. That's what's going on here," I hollered. Mother stood there for a real long time. Then, all of a sudden, her face went funny. "Oh dear, no, you don't mean Squirty the clown, do you?" she asked. She closed her eyes. "Not that nasty little clown who chased your grandmother around the bleachers with a seltzer bottle." I laughed and clapped and laughed and clapped. "Yes, Mother, yes, that's exactly the Squirty I mean." Mother shook her head. "But this just makes no sense, Junie B. You were scared to pieces by Squirty. Why would you want to be such a terrible clown for Halloween?" "Because," I said, "because I'm not allowed to tell you, that's why, but I really want to be Squirty." After that, I put on my shoes, and I grabbed my jacket, and I ran out to the car. I honked the horn for Mother. Because when you're a mean clown with a seltzer bottle, trick-or-treating doesn't worry you a bit. And so, ha-ha on the monsters, and ha-ha on the witches and bats and cats, and ha-ha on scary Halloween. Chapter 4. The Halloween Store. The Halloween store was in the mall. I pulled Mother there in a jiffy. Only too bad for me, because as soon as I saw the store, I screeched on my brakes, speedy quick. On account of the stuff in the windows gave me the creeps, I tell you. The windows was filled with skeletons and devils. Plus there were scary, hairy monster heads all over the place. I closed my eyes real tight, and I did a hard swallow, because scary, hairy monster heads can take the brave right out of you. I squeezed Mother's hand tighter. "Okay, here's a little change of plans," I said. "I think I will go home now." Then I tried to pull Mother back the other way, but she didn't budge. "I know those masks look scary," she said, "but rubber masks can't hurt you, Junie B." She smiled. "Those masks are made from the same kind of rubber that Ollie's rubber ducky is made from. And you're not afraid of rubber ducky, are you?" I rolled my eyes at that dumb question. "Rubber ducky doesn't have a sword through his head," I said. Mother didn't listen. She pulled me into the store. and we went to the aisle with the little girls' costumes. I looked up and down the shelves. They had every little costume in the book, I tell you. They had the Little Red Riding Hood, and Little Bo Peep, and Mary Had a Little Lamb, and Little Orphan Annie, and the Little Mermaid. Plus, also, they had Little Miss Muffet who sat on her trumpet. Mother's face got all gleamy and happy. "Oh, don't you just love these, Junie B?" she asked. "Wouldn't you like to wear one of these darling costumes tomorrow?" I smiled very pleasant. "No, thank you," I said. Just then, a store lady walked by. I reached out and tapped on her. "Where's the squirty suits?" I asked. The lady looked curious at me. Then she looked at Mother. "Did she say squirrely suits?" she asked. Mother closed her eyes a second. "No, I'm afraid she said squirty suits," she told her. "Squirty the clown. He sprays old women with a seltzer." The lady looked strange at us. Then she led me and Mother to the clown stuff, and she went the other way. I looked down the clown row, real nervous. Oh, no, no, no. There were scary clown parts hanging everywhere, I tell you. I quick jumped behind Mother's skirt. Then, very slow, I peeked out. There were round clown noses, and creepy clown hair, and big white clown gloves, and giant baggy clown pants with suspenders on them. I did some deep breaths, and finally I came out from behind Mother, and I looked all the way down the aisle. "Yeah, only here's the problem. I don't actually see the squirty suits," I said. Mother patted me. "Yes, well, I didn't think we'd find a real squirty costume," she said. "But with all of these clown parts, you can be much cuter than Squirty, Junie B." She took a wig off the shelf and plopped it on my head. "Here, how about this funny frizzy red hair?" she said. I quick took it off. "No, Mother, no," I said. "I don't want to be frizzy. I want to be squirty." I stamped my foot. "Squirty, squirty," I said. "I have to be squirty." "Shh! Honestly, Junie B, what has gotten into you?" she said, very snappish. Just then, a boy walked by, and he saw me getting snapped at. I asked my mother to tone it down a notch. I will not be saying that comment again, probably. Her face turned steamy mad, and she talked through closed teeth. "That's enough out of you, young lady," she said. "Not one more rude word. Do you understand me?" I rocked back and forth on my feet, kind of nervous. Then I did a gulp. "Yes, it's only that is really going to cut down on my end of the conversation," I said, kind of quiet. Mother looked at me a minute. Then she quick covered her mouth with her hand. She was doing a grin back there, I think. After that, her voice got nicer. "You've got to listen to me about this costume business, Junie B," she said. "There are no squirty suits, okay? They don't even make squirty suits. Squirty is not a famous clown." I felt shocked at that information. "But how can he not be famous, Mother?" I said. "I know that clown like the front of my hand." Mother nodded. "Yes, well, I'm afraid Squirty made a strong impression on all of us. And why you're determined to be such a terrible clown is a total puzzle to me," she said. "But if you really, really want to be Squirty, the best we can do is get you an outfit that is similar to his." My shoulders slumped very much, because similar does not mean exactly. Mother looked at her watch. "It's your choice, Junie B. We either buy you an outfit similar to Squirty's, or we buy you a Little Bo Peep costume." I did a sad sigh. Then I walked around the aisle, very glum, and I looked for a similar seltzer bottle.